National Nutrition Natural Health Reviews. 3 minutes of the latest naturopathic info with Canada's leading nutrition experts. Watch, learn, and get healthy naturally.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jonathan Beatty, naturopath and a health expert here at nationalnutrition.ca. I've been working in the supplements industry in addition to having a clinical practice for many years. I work as a formulator, so if you ever wonder who writes the recipes for the natural health products that you buy in the stores, that's the type of thing that I do in my spare time when I'm not seeing patients. My background is in nutrition and nutraceutical sciences, and I really have a strong passion for ensuring the development of effective natural health products to help you get the best health. So people often ask me, working in the industry, being a naturopath, what are my top supplements that I recommend? So I'm going to give you my top 10 list today. This does not mean you absolutely need to take all 10 things. Please don't take that as the point of this whole discussion. What I really want to draw attention to is, what are the top 10 most commonly beneficial supplements that people can take? And I'll let you know right away, the most common reason I'm recommending them is the prevention of deficiency. So a nutrient is the basic molecule required to support and sustain life in the absence of disease. By the very definition of this, that means any level of deficiency is automatically going to translate into some disease state in your body. So for this, what we really want to be focused on is what are the things that we need to do to avoid nutrient deficits. So a lot of my recommendations revolve around avoiding these deficits. And of course, there's going to be a bias being Canadian living in Canada. There are certain nutrients that we have a higher requirement for due to our country. Just where we live, our elevation, our latitude, all of these factors are going to impact our health and impact the nutrients that our systems need. So my number one, vitamin D. Why I love vitamin D so much? Well, it's an immune hormone. It's more than just helping with calcium absorption and with bone health. Vitamin D is involved in the manufacture of something called GC-MAF, which is involved in the regulation of your immune system. It's an immune hormone. It helps you fight off cancer. It helps you fight off viral infections. That's how important vitamin D is. So that's why it's always one of my top supplements. With that comes other fat-soluble nutrients. Another big one, vitamin K. We often don't take in enough vitamin K2 in particular. People often know of vitamin K for blood clotting. In fact, the K comes from the German coagulation. In English, it's spelled with a C, but that's where that vitamin K comes from. Vitamin K2, though, is actually not about blood clotting. Vitamin K2 is for bone health. It teaches your body where to put minerals, how to deposit them properly, so ensuring strong, healthy bones, but without creating things like stenosis, which is narrowing of bony caverns. That can cause pinching of nerves and a whole host of other problems. And adequate vitamin K, or specifically vitamin K2, can prevent the development of these problems and ensure strong, healthy bones and proper mineral balance within the system. So 2 fat-soluble vitamins right off the bat, best to take with meals. Why? Because you need bile to absorb them, and that is secreted in response to eating. In addition to fat-soluble vitamin D and vitamin K is fish oil. Why do I love it so much? Most people's diets are deficient in fish oil, and so I strongly recommend it because it's a required nutrient for every cell of the body, but heavily involved in cardiac health, heavily involved in neurological health. So I have a very strong bias towards supplementing with fish oils in particular. And that's just because humans aren't very good at converting shorter omega-3s into longer omega-3s. So the best dietary source comes from fish oils. Vegans and vegetarians aren't left out. They do have algae sources for these oils now, and the main fats you're looking for are your DHA and EPA. So those are the key components in what we classically call fish oil, but they are available actually from an algae source. So vegans and vegetarians don't need to get left out of this very important nutrient. So we're talking vitamin D, vitamin K, fish oil. Next on my list, astaxanthin. Why I love astaxanthin so much, it's an antioxidant that helps stabilize the oils in your system. So why do we have to take fish oil all the time? Well, it gets broken down, it gets damaged. Astaxanthin prevents that damage to your fish oil, and it helps stabilize cell membranes, which makes sure the cells function properly. And when the cells function properly, the organ functions properly. And when the organ functions properly, the organism functions properly. And when an organism functions properly, we call that health. And when it's not functioning properly, we call that disease. So this is why I really like astaxanthin. Stabilizes your fish oil, it stabilizes your fat-soluble nutrients. Now let's jump into the minerals. Next on my list, magnesium. #1 mineral deficiency in Canada. That's right, folks, it's not calcium. The thing we're always focused on is calcium. We should really turn our attention to magnesium. In fact, magnesium deficiency is a more common cause of osteoporosis than a calcium deficiency. So this is why I'm such a big proponent of magnesium. Deficiencies often start with little things like what we call a fasciculation, a little twitch of a muscle. Sometimes when people get tired, their eyelids twitch. That can be a sign of a magnesium deficiency. Or having calf cramps or foot cramps or restless legs at night. It could be as simple as just a magnesium deficiency. So I'm a big proponent of supplementing with magnesium. Other minerals I love, iodine. Why? Most of Canada's soil is incredibly deficient in this. And iodine is needed by our thyroid for proper thyroid function, but it's actually needed by every endocrine gland in our body. That's right, every gland that produces a hormone in the human body requires iodine for its health, and that's why I really like recommending to supplement with low levels of iodine, because most Canadians are deficient because it's not very high in our soil. Therefore, it doesn't end up in our food, and the main dietary sources are things like seaweed, which the average Canadian just doesn't eat enough of to get adequate iodine into their system. In addition to magnesium and iodine, other things I like, let's move from the minerals now into some of the vitamins. One of my favorite things to supplement with in a vitamin perspective is a good B complex. Why? Well, the B vitamins don't operate individually. They often require other B vitamins for their best function. For instance, B12 often requires folate. B6 actually often requires folate and B12. B3 often uses either B1 or B2 to go with it. So therefore, I typically recommend supplementing with a good complex B vitamin, ideally using what we call the coenzyme or the active form of the vitamins. In addition to vitamin B, another water-soluble vitamin I love, the good old classic vitamin C. Vitamin C is incredibly important. It's involved in collagen formation in our body. That means, your skin stays elastic and youthful looking, your arteries stay elastic, and they don't, you prevent heart disease. It's involved in so many pathways, I can't even list them. Vitamin C is just one of the most important nutrients we take in, and humans are one of the only animals on Earth that can't manufacture our own vitamin C. In fact, almost every other species on Earth doesn't need to take vitamin C because they can make it. That's how important it is. Humans are one of those few animals that can't do this. So this is why we have to supplement with vitamin C. We just typically don't get adequate levels in our diets even. In addition to vitamin C, probiotics. Now, with all the antibiotics in our environment, and when I say that, it's not just antibiotics you take as pills. There's antibiotics that can get sprayed on food as a pesticide, because that's or a herbicide. That's something that can kill bacteria, can kill fungus. Well, that can kill the good bacteria inside of you. As well, we see a lot of products infused with antibiotic compounds, and that can lead to a disruption in your normal bacteria that live on and in your body, and they communicate with our bodies and they provide good health. And so one of the things that I often recommend supplementing with is probiotics to ensure that we have the right balance of flora living on and in our systems. Now, in addition to that, I also will often recommend a good green supplement. The reason I'm so big on green supplements, and my favorite of these is chlorella, is because they do a variety of different things in the body, and chlorella in particular is very good at chelating out toxins. So in a world where we're ever exposed to more and more toxins, and we don't have a lot of control about that. I mean, we think about smog, it's air pollution. If you live anywhere near a large city, you're inhaling toxins all the time. And chlorella is one of these neat little plants that has the ability to help our bodies eliminate these toxins more effectively, which is why I often recommend people to supplement with something like chlorella. So these are just a few of the supplements I recommend Depending on your specific individual needs, some of these may be right for you, some of these may not be. I always recommend consulting a healthcare practitioner to decide what supplements would be the best fit for you, what supplements would be safe for you to take. So please don't take this as you must take these supplements. That's not the point of this presentation at all. I just want to draw attention to some supplements that may be important for you and work with your healthcare practitioner to see what's right for you as an individual. Any questions or comments, please post them below, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and as always, remember, knowledge is health.